Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're going to do a character tier list of the characters that are in the Republic, Separatists, Bounty Hunters, and Bad Batch. In the past two videos, we did the Jedi and we did the Sith. Trying to span these out because they'll be beefy episodes if we just do, like, if I did all of this right now, that'd be like a 30 to 45 minute video. And that's a lot. So let's do the Republic characters. We're going to start off with the clones because they're just, oh man, I love them. This is either Fives or Jesse. I'm going to say Fives because I want it to be Fives. Fives is great. Oh, I absolutely love Fives. He was the first clone to understand what was going on with the Order 66. He was unraveling that and he figured that out. He was just a great character to watch in the clones. I mean, the clones storyline and all of their arcs are just so meaningful within an animated kid show. Love it. Then we're going to do Commander Cody. We're going to put him as good. He's awesome. He plays a vital part in the Clone Wars. He's Obi-Wan's commander, and he kind of see him a little bit in Bad Batch as well. And you hear that he goes AWOL. So he's understanding that the Empire is evil, and he leaves. But apart from that, he doesn't do anything too crazy that stands out to me where I'm like, yes! He's amazing, but he is Rex's best bud, and for that, he makes the list, obviously. I don't think he's great, but he's really good. Commander Rex. Commander Rex is actually amazing. Ignore where I placed him on this list. He does not match Darth Revan, Darth Sidious, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Cal Kestis. Ignore that. When initially recording, I got ahead of myself and put him in Legendary, but he's amazing. I love Rex. I love getting to see his entire development through Clone Wars and his loyalty to Ahsoka and Anakin. And then his severe loyalty to Ahsoka in Season 7. And they bring such emotion to that where you realize that he's going to have to kill his brothers, his clones. And you see him shed a tear. Him and Ahsoka go on their way. And you see him kind of help the Bad Batch out a little bit in Bad Batch. And then he comes back in Rebels. And he's old, funny, but he's still the same Rex. And he's crushing it. And I just absolutely love me some good old Captain Rex. Padme Amidala. Also Padme Skywalker. She's good. She's feisty in Attack of the Clones. We see her first, obviously, in Phantom Menace. She's developing. The acting's not quite there yet. Yeah. Attack of the Clones, she's getting better. She falls in love with Anakin, friend of the Sith. I mean, without her, there is no Luke and Leia. So, that plays a very big part into Star Wars. Without her, there is no assistance to the balance of the Force, right? Because you need to create Luke. And she comes to a very sad death, but she's nothing too crazy for me. She's good, but not that. Satine. I'm going to put Satine at meh for me, personally. I understand that she is Obi-Wan's main squeeze, but I don't really fancy her that much. She's kind of annoying. I mean, the whole pacifist. I'm a pacifist. We're pacifists. You live in Mandalore. Mandalore is a warring culture. And when it comes to Star Wars and Mandalore, I want to see some war. You know? I respect her beliefs. I don't really care for her that much, though. It was pretty sad, though, when she was killed by Maul. That was sad. Felt bad for Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was really showing some feelings for once. And he was really hit hard on that one. Sorry, Obi. Bo-Katan. Now, Bo-Katan, when you first see her, she's kind of bad. She's part of Death Watch. She comes back to the good side, and she's mainly good. And that's why I put her in the Good Republic list. She's not really part of the Republic, but she's part of that area. Then she comes back in Rebels. Sabine gives her the Darksaber. She loses it. She gets it taken away by Moff Gideon. But then she comes around, and she's in Mando Season 2 and 3. And she's really cool in that. Mando Season 3 took a lot of convincing to like. I didn't like it at first, but after watching her in that, she's pretty sick. I mean, she's bad. Oh, yeah. Not in a bad way, a bad, good way. Nothing too special to me, but she's good. Bail Organa, also good. the same level as Padme, but just a little less. I mean, without him, Leia would not have a father who raised her to become a very nice young woman. And he is very intricate in the rebel process. Like, he's behind the scenes. You don't really see him. He's in the shadows. And he's cool. I like him. He's good. Shmi Skywalker. As a character, she's meh. I mean, you don't get to see much of her. I'm going to stick her in meh. She's not terrible. Nothing she did was terrible. But she was the one that the Force decided to place Anakin inside. She gave birth to Anakin. And for that, she's a very important part of Star Wars. She's just the mother. But she's nothing, like, the character development within it is just like, there's nothing there. He says, don't come back. Don't come back. Well, he comes back, and she dies. He goes nuts on the Tuskens, and then that's all she wrote on her story. So, Boss Nass. He's good. Nothing too crazy. You just hear him, talk like an idiot the whole time, as Gungans do. But he's fine. Nothing too crazy. Jar Jar Binks. Again, people really didn't like him. I think he's harmless. He's just an idiot, a big oaf. Because of him, the Chancellor became the Supreme Chancellor. That's all there is to be said about him. But yeah, just an idiot. Ability to speak does not make you intelligent, Jar Jar, and that's what he thinks. He thinks just speaking makes him intelligent. Dex. Dex is supreme. Just kidding. Dex is good. He's funny. I mean, he's only in it for 5 seconds, but he's not a Mac character, Hey, old buddy. Oh, what do you know? A Camino Saberdar. Watto. He's a Mac character. He's not terrible, because in his own twisted way, he was somewhat of a father to Anakin, even though he was his slave owner. But in Attack of the Clones, he was actually kind of helpful. Like, he was excited to see Anakin, even though he kind of wanted him for his own use. He's not a good character, but he's just meh. Holy crap, Echo. You got lost in the pile. So Echo, he's great. He's right there with 5s. Love him in the Bad Batch. He's such a fun character. He survives a great ordeal. In the Citadel arc, he is blown up. Then he's stolen by the Separatists, used for his brain to use against the Republic. He's rescued in Season 7. He then becomes part of the Bad Batch, adventures with them, and then he plays a very big part in the Bad Batch. I mean, he's pretty smart. He's that rough, bringing the Reg clone towards the Bad Batch vibe, and he's got the little droid thing as an arm. So that's useful. But he's just all the Bad Batch are probably going to put him great, because they're just so freaking awesome. But Echo, he's great. The droids. Now, do I do this honestly, or do I do it like Dex? I'll do it honestly. Honestly, the droids are supreme. Can we be honest here? The droids are Roger. They're supreme. If you say anything against that, oh my gosh, what are you, nuts? I don't remember this name apart from going, yeah. He's meh. Actually, he's don't care. I really don't know much about him apart from helping create the Death Star. So, yeah. Again, don't care. Newt Gunray. Meh. This is impossible. He's just quotable. That's all that is. But he's in there enough where you have to rank him, right? Now we get to the bounty hunters. Honestly, of all the characters they put in here, I'm surprised they didn't put Sam Wessel as part of the bounty hunter list. Don't know why, but I have a list here because I don't know all the names, so I'm going to be reading that list. Aura Singh. Nah, don't know much about her. She's there helping Boba in the Clone Wars eventually. Other than that, she's kind of there, but not enough to make me like, wow, she's great. This guy's name's Embo. Again, meh. Don't know much about him. Zero. Meh. Again, I don't know. Jabba's right-hand man. meh. He's not even like a bounty hunter, but he's part of the whole bounty hunter culture. So, meh. Bosk, again, meh. Not a lot going on there. This guy, Dengar, meh. Again, actually, Dengar is don't know, don't care. You see him in Empire Strikes Back. Other than that, you do not see that man again. And if you do, please show me, because I'm honest, I don't know. Young Boba, meh. Nothing really exciting going on there. Then you got Hondo. Hondo? Hondo's good. Great in his humor. As a character, though, I love how he's really good friends with Ezra. And even though he's like sneaky and tricky with Ezra and like tricks him into certain things, he's still there to work with him and to be there for him. And that's why at the end of Rebels, he shows up and he helps him out. And really cool. That makes him a really good character. Cad Bane. Cad Bane. He's just good. He's not a Hondo good, but he's good. He's a good bounty hunter. He's not evil, but he's still evil. Sometimes you see certain areas in him where you're like, wow, maybe he could be good, but he's not. He's not good at all. Jabba the Hutt. Again, he's just good. Another one of those just funny characters. He is in charge of all of the Hutts. He gets literally strangled by Leia, which is like, dude, you're beefcake. You're the beefiest person in the entire Star Wars universe, and you get strangled by Leia. But crazy character, but he's just good. IG-11. Now, IG-11, I'm pretty sure is in the prequels. Maybe at some point in time, I'm not sure. He could be in, maybe he's in the original trilogy. But he is a bounty hunter from Mandalorian. He was also good. And once he was repaired and Mando kind of like warmed up to him and he sacrificed himself to save all of them, very noble sacrifice for a droid. Jango Fett is great. I wish we could get a Tales of the Bounty Hunter with Jango Fett. I would love to see way more with Jango. He is the source for all of the clones. His DNA is where they got all of the cloning from. Without Jango, there is no clones. No Clone Wars, no Clone Army, no Rex, no Cody, nothing. No Bad Batch. Jango Fett is also a really sick dual pistol bounty hunter. He is the father of Boba Fett, and he's just so freaking great. I would love to see more about him. Greedo. He's mad, dude. Greedo's mad. He just gets shot down by Han Solo. And apart from that, you really don't see much of him, so nothing to really talk about there. Boba Fett is amazing. I love Jango, but Boba Fett, you see more of him. He's the first bounty hunter you see in Star Wars, along with the lineup in Empire Strikes Back. But he's the best one. He's the OG. Then he comes back in The Mandalorian. Love him in The Mandalorian. But then, you know, in Boba Fett, they really, here goes with the writing again, they wrote his character very poorly. I needed more of Boba Fett, not Boba. I think the Fett part is his bounty hunter part, right? It's Jango Fett, Boba Fett. He was very just chill and casual. I mean, he's older in Boba Fett series, but I needed him to be lethal. And I hope if they have a season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett, that he is just destroying people, annihilating people, like he was in The Mandalorian. Now, the Vizsla guy from Mandalore, I'm going to put him at good. Now, I left him in the bounty hunter spot just because, I'll be honest, I forgot that I put him there, and he should have been part of the Separatists, because he did work alongside of Count Dooku, but he worked with Darth Maul and Savage, which were also kind of bounty hunters at that time, serving their own purpose. So he's kind of like a bounty hunter himself, but not really a bounty hunter. So, but for that, his character is pretty cool. He's good. He gets murked by Darth Maul, and that's pretty much the end of his story. Jon Favreau, the Bad Batch. Let's start with Hunter. Hunter is great. Character of Hunter is that father who's trying to figure out how to become a father, even though he's not really a father, and basically an older brother, you could say, to Omega, and the leader of the Bad Batch. And He's just freaking sick. He's the Sylvester Stallone of the Bad Batch. He looks like Rambo, and he's just so freaking cool, you know? And he's great. Tech is also great. It was very sad when Tech died in Bad Batch. He really progresses in season 2 with his character, and I knew he was gonna die at the beginning of season 2 just because of the way they started focusing on him more, and they wanted to give him more of the attention within the Bad Batch, and I knew they were gonna make you like him just to take him away, you know? But along with the rest of the Bad Batch, he's great. Wrecker. I think Wrecker's good. He could be great. He's just the big brute of the Bad Batch, and he does have feelings. He really loves Omega, which is awesome, but he's, you know, he's Wrecker. Not a bad good, a good good. We got Crosshair. Crosshair is amazing. His character development, that show, was the best. Through season 2, it got really slow, and I kind of got lost in the mix of it. I really was watching that for Crosshair. His development and realizing, you know, good soldiers follow orders. And then in season 2, he's realizing, holy crap, the Empire is sick. They don't care about me. They started doing testing on him. Him and Omega escaped, and him and Hunter trashed the end of season 3 in a good way. Just totally got rid of Hemlock. Oh man, I love Crosshair. He was the best character in that whole show. The writers were just, they were doing something special when they messed around with Crosshair's character. So good, so good. The Gonk droid, we'll just put him down there. Let me come to Sid. Sid is meh. She betrayed them. She has her funny moments. Some of her lines were actually kind of funny. Other than that, she kind of annoyed me. And then she betrayed them. And then you never see her again. And she just sucks. Last but not least, Omega. Omega is great. Omega, her development is kind of like Ahsoka's in a way. She's annoying in that first season. Just like, oh, Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair, Tick. But then she progresses. And in season 2, she becomes more of a young woman. Becomes more smart. She's more skilled with their ways. She's good. She pops off. You think she's going to become a Jedi, and I'm glad they did not make her a Jedi, because not everyone needs to be a Jedi, Sabine. And she progressed, and at the end of season 3, she became a pilot, and she wants to go and fight with the rebellion. So her development was just really well written. You like her. You enjoy her character by the end of the show. And she was all right in season 1, but she got a lot better throughout the show. And along with all of the Bad Batch characters, that show really made everything. But that is the end of this tier list video. I have a few more to come out with the rest of this tier list, because this list is not finished. Not by a long shot. This is going to be a chunky list. And that is it for the Republic, Separatists, Bounty Hunters, and Bad Batch of Star Wars. Catch you next time. Later.